Practical faith. How you guys doing? It's a blessed, amazing day. Guys, the power of words. What is the power of our words? Now, I don't want to focus on the power of our words. Because I know our power James tells us that in the tongue that holds life and death, our words is very powerful. But what we say, do we mean it? Because this becomes an interesting thing. Because a lot of times we say stuff. And then, you know what? We say stuff to find, to catch people out there, and then we'll come with a quote, with a quote. No, I was only joking. No, I'm only messing with you. Man, no, I didn't mean it. But this is the thing we got to watch out for. Because you know what? As much as there's contracts in the workplace, as much as, there's so many legal documents and we've signed it, we think only once we've signed something are we held by that standard. I mean, if you sign a contract with your employer, you expect your employer to fulfill the duties, and your employer expects you to fulfill your duties. Just a basic example, right? What happened to words when you agree? What happened to the handshake? What happened to, okay, I said something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stick to my word. Whatever happened to that? Because then, but we never signed the contract. We never did nothing. You know what? Whatever happened to those standards? Don't you think, back in those days, a lot of people couldn't read or write. They were taken on their word, and their word meant everything. Where have we lost it? Where in our generation, or in the last couple decades, where have we lost that? I'm going to give you an example. Again, we are still busy with Joseph, and there's so much, and there's so much I haven't said about him. With his story. But just if you go Genesis 47, from verse 29, it says, when the time drew near for Israel to die, Israel is Jacob, he called his son Joseph and said to him, if I have found favor in your eyes, put your hand under my thigh and promise that you'll show me kindness and faithfulness. Do not bury me in Egypt, but when I rest with my fathers, carry me out of Egypt and bury me where they are buried. And he fulfilled his promise. See, that time they didn't have contracts and written codes and wills, and they spoke blessings. That's, how many times, Jacob, we're going to get to it. I think it's the next chapter where he starts proclaiming blessings over his children. The 12 tribes, and that carries much more weight. That carries so much more weight because, these days we can tear up contracts like we want to. It actually means nothing. But his words meant so much. It carried so much weight and so much force behind it that it meant something. Now back then they would put their hands on the inner thigh and they would make a promise. That's how they that was their written contract. And we write contracts today. That is the way that they kind of made promises to each other. And you know what? You'd keep it because you'd die by your word. Because people would turn around and say, hey, but this guy doesn't keep his word. How many times do we do, and for some reason this just popped up in my mind, how many times do we go to places where we know these people are thieves, but yet we will still do business with them? And yet when they turn around and we get bitten, it was like, oh no, but he spoke it, and it's like, why are you so shocked? Why are you so shocked? I heard a testimony once back in the days when I was studying from one of our pastors, lecturers at the time, and he said one of his church members always sits in front, makes wonderful contributions to the church, sits in front, but everyone knows that the way he does business is not right. Everyone knows that, and how many people in his church, when they do business with him, and then after the pastor tells them, when they sit with him and they complain about him, and they say, but guys, you know what everyone says about him. It is no secret. It is no secret that he does business dealings in the wrong way, but yet we still go into him. Guys, let's not be that person. Let's take the moral high ground here. We are children of God. Whatever we say, let us mean what we say. And this is the message I want to bring out. Because people will judge you by your actions. Yes, fair enough. We're not supposed to judge. That's a message for another day. But you know what? People will know you by your fruit. And if you're going to say something, you're not going to do it. What fruits are you possessing for God? And this is just something that was on my heart when I read this. This is the way the message went. And you know, I hope you're blessed with this. I hope you start taking thought into what comes out of your mouth. And this is my message for today. Blessings, guys.